people lining up for the chance to win $640 million, hoping to kiss their worries goodbye. But look out. If you're lucky enough to hit the jackpot, there could be some problems ahead. Money doesn't solve everything, right? Right? Let's bring in our legal panel, defense attorney Rebecca Rose Woodland and trial attorney Rachel Self. I can't help but laugh, guys, because $640 million sounds like it could solve a lot of problems. I was chatting with some of our viewers on Twitter. Bob says he's going to buy his wife a huge diamond ring if he wins, and I think that's a great idea. But Rebecca, before you can collect the winnings, you have to have your ticket. And how do you protect your ticket if you have it and it's the winning ticket?
That is such a good question. Before you even know if you won, right now, if you have a ticket, put it in something very, very safe, either a safe in your home or some sort of plastic. So in case that something happens to it, you will be fine. And once you win, do not tell anyone, no one, because so many people tell all their friends and relatives before they claim the money, and someone could come and steal your ticket. You need to sign the ticket. You need to call an attorney immediately.
Call an attorney. What do you charge for something like that, Rebecca? I'm just curious.
Well, it depends. I mean, it would depend on all the work you do for
I see. Okay.
If you do some financial planning or you get someone else involved, it's all an hourly rate, but it depends.
I see. I was just wondering if there's a special for this winner in particular. Rachel, there's sometimes, though, that you're entering into the lottery with an office group, you know, the whole crew here. We could go out and buy a ticket.
Yeah.
But what happens if someone's absent that day, that they're normally on the shift? Or what sort of agreements should you have in place in case the pool wins?
Well, Jenna, a lot of times what people do is they have these informal agreements set up. With the office, you put in $2 a week and everybody buys the tickets together. And if you happen to be absent, then you might miss out if you wind up winning. You don't necessarily need an actual contract so long as you have something informal written down that everybody agrees on. Because ultimately, if it winds up going to the jury, as a lot of these horror story lottery winners have had to do, you want the jury to be able to figure out what the intent was of all the parties during this thing.
Now, if you take a look at some of these winners, I mean, the list, we can't even get into all of them, but there's a lot of tragedy for some of the lottery winners. And Rebecca, one story sort of stands out. I mean, there's some that are really tragic where the winners end up committing suicide. But there's one in particular in New York where the parking attendant won the lottery. He wins, you know, he collects this money. He was making less than $30,000. He got, you know, tens of millions of dollars. And then his wife instantly divorces him and takes half of it.
Yes, well, because in New York, the divorce laws are pretty clear. So, you know, he was married to a woman who clearly wasn't the best choice for him. Yeah, that can happen. And there are other things that can happen. You know, it was a great point. If you're in a pool with an office and you're not there that week, is there a precedent that even if you're not there, someone supplies your portion of that pool? If so, make sure you're clear on that. Write it down with your friends, have all of them sign it. Even if it's not a contract, have everybody have a photocopy of that signature and all the names that are in the pool that week. When the tickets come back, everybody photocopy those tickets so that there's proof that you were in that pool that week. There's proof that you're part of it.
It sounds like a good idea.
Things happen.
It would be nice to see a big office win. Go ahead, Rachel.
You also don't want somebody to say they were a part of the pool and come in later on and say, oh, no, I was always part of this pool, and not have an established setup
see something
plan.
like that happening.
Great point. Yeah.
Just a real quick final thought from both of you. I was taking a look at whether or not you'd have to come forward. And Rebecca, you mentioned this sort of at the beginning as well. You know, if I won, let's just say, knock on wood, if I'd have to announce it. And it turns out that it really comes down to the state in which you buy the tickets, whether or not they make you publicly present yourself and do interviews. So what do you do in either situation, Rachel? I mean, do you if you have to, you know, do you say the least, you know, do you just not say a lot when you have to say something? And if you have a choice, is it better to opt to stay anonymous?
I absolutely think it's a good idea. If you do have the choice to stay anonymous, go hire an attorney, set up a trust, have that attorney be the trustee, and handle absolutely everything for you, because all the freaks come out when you win the lottery, and everybody's going to want their piece of this. So, you know, you want to make sure that you protect yourself as best as you can, and if you can remain anonymous or set up a business or set up a trust to protect yourself so that they can't put a face to it, it's not a bad idea.
Oh, that sounds like good advice. I like how both of you mentioned to go hire an attorney. It sounds like good advice.
It's necessary.
And I'm sure both of you are available in case anyone wants to contact you.
Yes, they can contact us.
Rachel and Rebecca, thank you so much. This was fun. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gina.
I would show up as the first lottery